Here's a mystery for you. Climate change is a major global threat, but not yet a major topic of kitchen table conversation. And in fact, that may be the biggest threat of all, according to a new book. It's called Saving Us, a climate scientist's case for hope and healing in a divided world. It's published by an imprint of Simon & Schuster, which is a division of Viacom CBS. The scientist's name is Katharine Hayhoe. She's the author, and she points out that more than half of U.S. adults are concerned about climate change, but only a third of us ever talk about it. She says her goal is to change that.
You might think all this extreme weather, fueled by runaway global warming, accompanied by endless warnings from scientists and activists,
how dare you,
celebrities and world leaders,
we have reached the tipping point on the need for climate action,
is also a big talker for people at home. But
how often do you talk about climate change?
Have we once talked about climate? Maybe once or twice in our 7-year relationship.
On a recent day at the Dallas World Aquarium, we found most people just don't usually get into it.
Have you ever in your life started a conversation intentionally with someone else about the issue of climate change?
I'll be honest, I probably haven't.
I haven't either. No, all right.
The question, of course, is why? If climate change threatens all of us, shouldn't all of us be talking about it?
Most people are worried about this.
Katharine Hayhoe is a prominent, you might even say famous, climatologist at Texas Tech University, who studies not only the climate, but the conversation around it.
I mean, if one more person tells you about a starving polar bear or melting iceberg or rising sea levels, you're just like, what am I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I'm not like the president or a CEO or anything.
What you're supposed to do, Hayhoe argues, the most important thing any of us can do, is the one thing so many of us have been avoiding. We have to talk about it.
You think regular people can start a revolution on this by having conversations in their community?
I think that's the only way a revolution has ever started.
To see how she does it without devolving into politics or argument, we started some conversations of our own.
For me, I feel like this world ain't gonna survive long.
All right, well, I just want to bring in Katharine right now.
And then we asked Hayhoe to take over.
Did you know that 90 companies are responsible for 2/3 of the whole global warming problem since the beginning of the industrial era?
I did not know that.
We noticed that while Hayhoe was often full of facts,
you know how many people die every year because of air pollution? Almost 9 million.
Really?
her first move wasn't to lecture, but to listen.
We see changes in weather patterns, but they don't happen as close to home.
When she did jump in, it wasn't with global data, but local issues.
Here's the thing, if we live in Texas, we're getting hit hardest of any state. We get the hurricanes, the floods, the heat, even the crazy winter storm that we had. It was worse because of the Arctic warming so fast. Right here in Irving, you know, the Rangers, they had to build them a new stadium that they could close the roof on to air condition it because it was too hot for people to play in it.
And in conversation after conversation, Hayhoe kept the focus on solutions.
Texas is #1 in wind energy. We're #1.
Reminding people that while the challenges may seem overwhelming,
from my perspective, it doesn't seem like much, regular humans can really do about it.
America does have a pretty good track record of getting it right eventually.
150 years ago, women couldn't vote. And then, 70 years ago, there was civil rights. And all of that changed. And how did it change? It changed because people started talking about it. And they started saying, this is not fair, this is not the way the world should be. The world has to be different.
And speaking of different,
we started this conversation with you telling me that the world was essentially doomed.
Yeah, pretty much is.
but what's the first step to getting together?
Talking about it.
Has this conversation changed you in any way?
Yeah, I'd be more vocal to it. I'd want to spread the awareness.
There you go, you did it, Katharine. There's one.
So Katharine has actually had a lot more than one. Like she travels the country and has given thousands of lectures and had thousands of conversations with people about climate change and wakes people up to the issue. And actually what I love about the book is it's kind of a user's guide to help other people go and do the very same thing. Although I also have to say, in my experience, when I start talking about climate change at home, that's when my wife's like, or, that's when the friends are over.
Normally people's eyes do glaze over.
Yeah, if you got friends over at dinner and you bring it up, they're like, oh, we got a long drive. Yeah, we better hit the road.
Well, people do see it as a buzzkill until it sinks in that we're killing the earth.
But that's a buzzkill. It's hard to talk about this with the appropriate degree of measuredness, but also urgency.
Yeah.
But I liked how she does it, though, Tony. I like how she puts it in very edible, concrete facts that we can all pay attention to. 9 million people die of air pollution. That's.
Yeah. By the way,
we'll
the reason this matters is because the political solution, a system change, is the only way to do this. All of us recycling and putting solar panels on a roof, that doesn't add up to enough.
I like that khaki shirt you were rocking.
Thank you. My animal show coming out soon. It's in development now.
Looks good. Tony the Tiger's coming soon.
More to come. This is CBS Mornings. We'll be right back.